Deranged Karen demanded that I move my car so she can park in the handicapped spot. So, it was a beautiful, sunny afternoon, and I was on my way to my favorite local grocery store, a charming little place with the freshest produce and the friendliest staff you could ever wish for. However, the star of the day was none other than yours truly and my favorite set of wheels, a stunning, cobalt blue, top-of-the-line electric wheelchair that's faster than a cheetah on caffeine. I was just getting out of my car and into my wheelchair, setting myself up for a pleasant shopping trip, when a gleaming, black SUV pulled up in front of me. The driver's window rolled down, and lo and behold, a woman peered out. Sporting a haircut that screamed, "I demand to speak to the manager," our dear Karen stared at me with a sense of entitlement that could rival Queen Elizabeth herself. "Excuse me," she said, her voice as sharp as a lemon tart, "could you move your car so I can park here?" I blinked, taken aback by her audacity. Here I was, visibly in need of the handicapped spot, and this woman wanted me to move. I shook my head. "I'm sorry, but I need this spot." I figured that would be the end of it. But oh boy, was I wrong. Karen's face turned a shade of red that would put ripe tomatoes to shame. She hopped out of her SUV, her designer purse swinging wildly. She marched up to me, and with a voice loud enough to wake the dead, she began to yell. "I have a tailor's bunion." She shrieked. "I need this spot more than you. Now, I'm a pretty chill guy. Not much can ruffle my feathers. But this was next level. She was standing there, no limp, no wince, no sign of discomfort, claiming to need the spot more than me. Just as I was wondering how to handle this escalating situation, the grocery store owner, a sturdy woman with a heart of gold, came out. Marion had run this store for as long as anyone could remember, and she was loved by everyone. Everyone except, it seemed, Karen. Marion tried to reason with Karen, reminding her that there were plenty of other spots available. But Karen was having none of it. She stomped her foot, continuing her tirade about her supposed tailor's bunion, and the pain, and oh, the injustice of it all. Now, let me pause here to set the scene. Imagine a picturesque, quiet town, the kind where everyone knows each other. Picture a bustling grocery store, with shoppers going about their business. Now, freeze that image, as everyone stopped to witness this spectacle. The birds stopped chirping, the wind stopped blowing, and even the sun seemed to take a break from shining, all to witness the epic meltdown of Karen. By this point, Karen was stomping around, waving her arms wildly, and causing a commotion that could rival a three-ring circus. It was clear that Marion needed to take drastic action. With a sigh, she pulled out her phone and dialed a number. Within a few minutes, we heard the familiar sound of sirens. Yes, ladies and gents, the cavalry had arrived. 2 police officers stepped out of their car, their faces a mask of professionalism as they surveyed the scene. They listened to Marion's explanation, then turned to Karen. "Man, you need to calm down," one officer said in a firm but polite tone. Karen, however, was not ready to step down from her soapbox. With a flair of dramatics that would have made Shakespeare proud, she launched into an exaggerated tale of her supposed physical ailments, asserting her right to the handicapped spot. But here's the cherry on top of this sundae of insanity. She even tried to argue that my wheelchair was some sort of a fancy gimmick, implying that I was not truly handicapped. It was at this point that I saw the other officer's face twitch. I think he was trying very hard not to laugh. I mean, who wouldn't? The situation was absurd. Karen finally ran out of steam, panting and red-faced from her tirade. The officers shared a look, one that clearly said, "We've got a live one here." "Man," the first officer said, "the law clearly states that these spots are reserved for individuals with a visible handicap or a valid placard. Do you have a valid handicap placard?" Karen sputtered, I don't need one. I have a tailor's bunion." The officers exchanged another look, this time with a clear hint of exasperation. The tailor's bunion, without a valid placard, doesn't qualify for a handicapped spot, man, the second officer explained. The crowd that had gathered to watch the spectacle murmured in agreement. Karen looked like she had swallowed a lemon whole. She spluttered, clearly not used to being denied. Marion, seizing the moment, stepped forward. She pointed a finger at Karen and said in a loud, clear voice, "And you are no longer welcome in this store. Your behavior is absolutely unacceptable." And just like that, the crowd erupted into applause. Karen stood there, slack-jawed, as the officers ushered her back to her SUV. She got in, and with one last glare at me, she sped off. I looked around, slightly overwhelmed by the whole situation. Marion gave me a comforting pat on the shoulder, and the officers assured me they would handle the situation. I thanked them and made my way into the store, greeted by warm smiles and sympathetic looks. So, there you have it, folks, the tale of the deranged Karen, a tailor's bunion, and a handicapped parking spot. It was a roller coaster of a day, but in the end, a sense of justice prevailed. I guess the moral of the story is, no matter how entitled you think you are, you can't argue with the law, and you certainly can't argue with a small town that sticks together. P.S. Before you ask, yes, I got my groceries, and yes, they included a pint of my favorite ice cream. It was, after all, a stressful day, and I believe in treating myself after such encounters. So, cheers to ice cream and the end of this rather long tale. Good Lord, how on earth can someone feel so entitled? I mean, this guy was clearly in a freaking wheelchair. How someone can unashamedly demand that an actual handicapped person move their car for them is beyond me. What would you have done in this situation? Why do some people act this way? Please let us know your thoughts in the comments below. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more Tangled threads.